What's up YouTube, Dow here from Zevor Games. I've just gone back from my second locals of the weekend. Yesterday was the pit gaming in Boreham Wood, and I got third place with Traptrix, so I'll show you that list in a minute. And then today I was at Hatfield Calamity and got third place with Ignisters. So I'm going to take you through a tournament report, and I'm also going to take you through the deck list, both in one video as well, so you can kind of see them how we go, and go from there. So thanks for watching, smash that like button, hit that notification bell and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more upcoming content. With that out of the way, let's dive into the tournament report and, of course, the deck lists. Okay, so we're going to start off with the Traptrix list. I'll take you through closer up on each of these in a minute after the tournament report. So it was 4 rounds of Swiss. First round was Cyber Dragons. Ultimately went to game 3. They activated Sanctum. I thought I was going to be in big trouble. Luckily, I was able to bait out the negate and then activate Talents to steal their Dragoon. Their Dragoon was then able to be used to pop their Verte and pop their Scythe. And then all I needed to do was normal summon a monster, so I normal summoned the Mantis and then attacked for game because they'd already taken 2k. Very, very tough game. Then it was Adamanticators, and they just didn't get the cards off the top, and I was able to kind of play through and control that game for the win. And then it was up against Sky Striker. Now, Striker was like one of the worst matchups for this because your cards like Horror House, your Floodgate Trap Pole are very ineffective because they just bounce them out. Luckily, the normal summon they did was Rose before they knew what I was playing, so I was able to book a moon that. And then from that point on, all I did was Goon, and they couldn't out Dragoon, and pretty much was able to control it from there. The final round, of course, was Virtual World. Ultimately went to game 3, and it just turned out that I bricked. I bricked on all my side cards. I think I got 2 Imperms and an Evenly Matched, and I couldn't really play through that. And I had Red Eyes Fusion, so my opening hand was like 2 Imperms, 2 Imperms, 1 Evenly, another trap card, and then Red Eyes Fusion. So I had to activate Red Eyes Fusion to try and get Dragoon, and they had the Ash. So that's just kind of how that one went. So I'll quickly go in and show you what the main deck we were playing. So we were playing triple Marmello, triple Mantis, double Dionea, 1 Viscillo, 1 Atrax, double Gravediggers, double Floodgate. So that is all the Traptrix cards. Then for the amazements, I was playing 3 Arlecchino, 2 Ticket, and 2 Horror House. This was a last-minute decision that I cut down to 2 just to kind of see how it worked. Triple Parallel Xyz for extenders. The Dragoon package as a boss monster, because this is one of the biggest weaknesses of Traptrix, is that they do need a boss monster to protect them and to carry on through. Then, of course, we've got 2 Prosperity and 2 Talents, mainly for consistency to play through hand traps. Like, the worst hand traps that the Traptrix can face is getting Gammered, because then you can't go into Sarah. Other than that, you're kind of okay, unless they try and Ash your Sarah. Triple Shade Brigadine, trigger off Sarah early. Double Torrential, double Crackdown, double Strike, double Ice Dragon's Prison, and the 1 Imperial Order. So you can change these up. You can obviously go free TT, free Strike if you want to. The Ice Dragon Prison was a last minute gamble that I put in. It is a 42 card main deck, just to kind of play around with it that way. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out the extra deck, and I'll show you what we've got here. So for the extra deck, we were running a very small Zeus package, just because there are some times where you want to kind of like board wipe, and it works to your best advantage. So obviously Chuck and I, because it's just the 2 level 4s, Borbo to attack directly, because you can still technically attack directly for 0, and then Zeus to clear a board off. 1 Alamiris, 1 Rafflesia, alongside a Time Thief Reader. Now, I didn't actually do it at this game, but there was a game that I played last week where I faced Salads, and I made Reader, and the first card I stole was their Gazelle. And then from that point on, I was just constantly stealing. I should have gone into Zeus on this, because you go into Zeus on top of this, and it's already stolen a lot of materials. As long as you haven't used the effect, you're in a very good position. Triple Sarah. The amount of times someone tried to trigger this with Imperm was unbelievable. So they tried to Imperm it, and I was like, it's unaffected by trap cards, so that definitely need to read that and know that. Obviously, Verte into the Goon package, standard, straightforward on that one. IP Masquerina, Kulia, Appaloosa, and then the last one that I was playing was Access Code. Never used them, never summoned them. You probably don't even need them. I think something like these were going to be they were used as like prosperity fodder more times than not, and ultimately these are. Like Boral Sword can work just as well. Access was just kind of one of them ones where I needed a boss monster I could go into it, but never came up. And you can probably put the Nightmare package in here, or you can put more rank 4s. Like stuff like Abyss Dweller was what I played a couple of weeks ago. So you've got a bit of flex spot around there. So now that's the tournament report for the Traptrix. I'm now going to clear this up, and then I'll take you through the tournament report for today, which is Saturday, for the Ignisters. Okay, so this is the Ignister deck. I'll zoom in and show you more of those in detail. But the rounds went as far as, again, 4 rounds of Swiss. I ended up facing Salad round 1, won that one. Ojama ABC round 2, Tri-Brigade round 3, and I lost that one. And then Madolche's round 4. In the Salad matchup, they basically flipped Gozen on me, and I had to scoop that game, go to game 3, where I was lucky enough to kind of get the towers. The idea behind an Ignister deck is to get to your towers, and I can show you a combo at the end, which is basically a 2-card combo, but it's a very consistent 2-card combo that gives you a 6k towers. So the same thing that outs the towers to stop the negate also outs the 6k towers, so sometimes it's a little bit more difficult to deal with. The Ojama ABC match, it was just a quick blowout, and then the Tri-Brigade went to game 3, and ultimately he bricked and I bricked, but all he needed to do was get to a starter, and my only starter was Doyon, and that wasn't enough to get my combo going, and he then normal summon sent a Fractile, he top decked that, and I was like, yeah, cool, that's game. In the Madolche matchup, again, I had to play through D-Shifter, which, as you can imagine, for a deck like this is very difficult. And then in game 2, he activated Gozen. And I was like, right, cool, this is one of the deck's biggest weaknesses. Luckily, I was normal summoned Picari, and Picari was able to poke for 1200. I then searched out the Monster Reborn and the I Meet You, used the I Meet You to get another Picari, normal summon that, overlay into the Ignister Dragon. The Ignister Dragon was able to do some damage, and then I basically just kept looping Picari with the Monster Reborn in order to poke away, and when he tried to make a play, I flipped Rivalry. And I'll show you the side deck for both this and the Traptrix deck at the end as well. So, pretty standard on this one. Triple Achichi, triple Picari, double Doyon. 1 Buru, 1 Hiyari, 1 Gatachi, 1 Danmari, triple Land, alongside triple Reborn, triple I Meet You, and triple Silent Mining. For the hand traps, of course, Ash Blossom maxed out, double Bell and double Nibiru, alongside consistency for double Pot of Desires and double Talents. Shout out Aiden, only 2. Triple Crossout, obviously with Crossout, I don't think I used it for any of the hand traps today. The only time that I really used this was when my opponent used Call by the Grave on my Picari, which was in the last game of Madolche's when I tried to Monster Reborn it. So that came up clutch. Double Droplets, just in case you do have to go second, you can try and turn off the board and go from there. And then triple Imperm. So the extra deck is where it's at. Getting into your towers, like no one can out it. That's the best thing about this is no main deck can out it unless they're main decking Kaijus, and they still need to top deck that Kaiju. So for the extra deck, of course, we do have the Wind Pegasus at Ignister, the Light Dragon at Ignister, alongside 2 of the Dark Infant. So good, so pinnacle apart from the combo as well, because you actually, in your first turn, go through 2 of these. The first one sets you up the field spell. The second one, you turn the monster that gets summoned to Dark Templar Zone into it. Trigger this effect as Chain Link 2 to chain block from Ghost Spell. Move this across, turn it into Divine, bring 3 back, and that's how you ultimately, with a Gatachi, make your 6 different attribute materials for a rival. The 1 Link Spider, the 1 Link Karibo. So obviously if you don't go for your 6 material, you go for a 2 material, you ultimately get a protection from Evenly, and you get a Danmari in the graveyard for another negate. But again, like I said, I don't think my opponent's really going to play anything that's going to out the Danmari or like out the level 6 at 6k. So it really is a risk you take. You need to kind of read your opponent's place from there. The 1 Wicked, the 1 Splash, the 1 Security Dragon. You just need this to be a generic. So all of your monsters are like needs a Cyverse. So this is just your generic monster that just requires 2 monsters. And I actually had to make this because I activated Nibiru, cleared my opponent's board off, used Nibiru plus like a Chi-Chi or anything like that to go into this to clear up the main zone. And that's when I could start making my combos to go into stuff like Transcode Talker as well. So the 1 Update Jammer, the 1 Transcode Talker, the 1 Heat Soul, Fire Phoenix. So this is only in here. It's very rare you actually make it, but it's only in here to reveal it with I Meet You, and then you get the Achichi. But once we get Heat Soul, pair of 1,000 life points draw, hell yeah. And then of course we've got the 1 Dark Templar, your main Mac Daddy, your access code. So the idea is that through your combo, whether it be the 1-card combo or 2-card combo, you're going to be sitting on at least a 4k arrival. I did actually have to make it 3k today, which was painful, but is what it is. one arrival at 4k, and then the idea is that you're going to get a Monster Reborn, a Cheat Sheet, anything like that to go into an access code. Your access code cleared the board off, and that's 8k at least is going to be there, if not a little bit more, depending if you've used like Update Jammer or anything like that. Arrival is your Mac Daddy, and a lot of people forget this, but it actually has a secondary effect that once per turn, obviously not a quick effect, you target another monster on the field, destroy it, and if you do, you special summon an Ignister token to your zone this card points to. Now, it is a vanilla, which is why you also want to use Link Spider, but it can also be used to go into a Link Karibo as well, so you can kind of turn it into effect monsters, and that's how you can Link climb higher off the back of that as well. So that is it for the main decks, for both the Ignisters and, of course, the Traptrix. Kind of show you how at locals I went from control to combo. Only lost one game. It's just a shame that because we're only able to do like 4 rounds of Swiss, that one loss can take you from, you know, like 2nd to 3rd to possibly even 4th, depending on what head-to-heads are like. So again, I'm going to clear this off, and then I'm going to take you through the side deck for both as well. Okay, so we'll keep this short and simple because the side decks ultimately come down to the deck you're playing and your environment. But this was, apart from the rivalry, this was the same side deck that I had and the Veiler for both decks. So in this version, this is set up for the Ignisters. If I swapped it for the Traptrix, you change the rivalries for Nibiru's and kind of go from there. There is a bit of a clash between Nibiru, Phantasmate, and Evenly, but they're just so good when you want to use them that it kind of has to work that way. So the Veiler is only in here as a target for crossout designator. In the other version, or in the Traptrix, you take these out, you can put in 3 Nibiru, or you can put in 2 Nibiru and 2 Veiler. It's up to you. So ultimately, I had Phantasmate for the Tri-Brigade matchup and the Sky Striker matchup, and then because people are relying on links a little bit more, this is pretty good. You just need to be very careful, because if they do have the ability to make Dragoon, then they are going to pop this, and you're going to burn for 2400 before you even know it. Which sometimes can be good if you've got Evenly, but again, risky. This is mainly for the Tri-Brigade matchup. Every time you see it, if you're able to combo off of the back of it, you will win. Twin Twisters, so you just need form of back row hate. These can be Lightning Storms, you can max them out at 3 if you want to. They can also be stuff like Cosmics, but the idea is you want to kind of evenly clear your opponent's board, leave them with 1 card, and then Twin or Cosmic it. Now obviously Twin is better in Ignisters because they actually want some of their stuff in the grave, whereas with Traptrix, it's rare that they do, but it does give you that option. Evenly, I still think it's one of the first cards I put in all my side decks just because it is just an out-and-out board wipe. Like, it baits out either a Judgment or a Negate, and then straight away your opponent's half their life points, made the job easier for you, and then you're able to kind of make your plays from that. The Rivalry specifically for Ignisters is because you only play Cyverse. So if your opponent's going to lock you under Rivalry, under Gozen, you might as well lock them under Rivalry as well, and then neither of you are going to play, and it's going to be who can get the strongest monster on board to kind of poke away the game. And that's pretty much it. The side deck will adapt and change depending on what you're playing and where you're going, and kind of go from there. So yeah, that was it. So that was my locals so far. I do have a casual locals at the pit tomorrow, but for that I usually just play any random deck just to have a bit of fun, change it up a little bit. Ignisters are incredibly fun, very powerful, and of course are a lot easier to get hold of thanks to the Megatins. Traptrix, again, I've had a lot of fun with these, and they've actually done really, really well. In my opinion, they're like nearly my most competitive deck. Like on paper, then Tri-Brigade, Drytron's are the most competitive decks I have, but I just feel Traptrix just give you that balance between control. The one thing they're missing is the boss monster, which is why you're either going to be playing Utopia Double or the Dragoon package. And the amount of people that are shocked when they go, right, okay, I've stopped this, I've stopped that, and you just go, right, okay, cool, Verte, Dragoon, and then by that point, they're already out of resource, and you're like, yeah, cool, Goon is going to win me the game here. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you've liked this kind of like tournament breakdown. I'll try and get more vlog style and out and about as we go and work it that way. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, guys, as absolutely always, stay safe and happy dueling.